Hey there. What are you doing out here? Why are why are you out here? It's not safe to be out here. Do you know where you are? Are you lost? Oh, you are? Well, you can't be staying around here. This is the forest of evil, right? The forest of evil where all the evil monsters in all the lands. You can find monsters you can't see in this continent. You can find monsters from other continents in this forest. This forest contains many great evils. You can't you can't be here. Honestly, it's a good thing I found you. It's not safe for you to be here alone. Nonetheless, without any weapons like you are. I don't even see a small dagger. What are you doing out here so unprepared? What happened? Ah, I see. Well, you don't remember? Oh, that's that's fine. Well, if you can't remember anything, why don't you come back with me? I actually live here in this forest. I know I said it was all crazy, with all the monsters, but you may not be able to tell it, but I'm pretty strong. I've been, I've been hunting in this forest for quite some time. You see this trusty bow on my side? Yeah, I've slayed many a monsters. I've slayed I've slayed things as big as a whole ogre with just a single arrow. I've done some crazy work. But why don't you come back with me to my apartment? It's safer that way. And while you're there, you can take a quick rest and hopefully by the next morning maybe you'll start regaining back some of your memories. But anyways, come on, follow me. Let's get walking. And there it is. Home sweet home. It's a small place, but it's cozy. But let me go ahead and go right in. Follow me. And there. Why don't you go ahead and just take a seat right there in one of the chairs? You go ahead and take a seat while I prepare you something to eat. You must be very hungry getting lost in a forest like this. I assume you haven't had anything to eat, because you can't eat anything out here except for some of the monsters if you're very good at hunting. The berries, the plants, you can't trust them out here. Half of them are poisonous and the other half are usually not berries. Usually they're little lures left out by carnivorous plant monsters. They set out these like fake berries to lure out unsuspecting prey, which could have been you if you tried to eat one. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and grab you a bite. Unfortunately, it's not gonna be any warm. Sadly, all I got is this leftover bowl of soup I made a few days ago. I can't warm it up right now for you because firewood's kind of scarce up here. I mean, it's kind of hard to get firewood when every other tree is like an inch or something. Like, what you supposed to do? You constantly have to be on your toes when you're chopping down a tree. You never know when it's gonna come to life, so it's a little bit of hard work getting firewood. So I don't want to waste it. So you're just gonna have to eat the soup cold. But I hope you still like it. I put a lot of hard work in it. Here you go. A nice bowl. I I hope you're gonna like it. Here, why don't you go ahead and take the spoon. Why don't you go ahead and grab a bite? Good, isn't it? Come on, take another bite. It's really good. I can see you're gobbling it down. You must have been hungry, huh? I understand. Getting lost in a forest can really take up your energy, but you can go ahead and finish the whole thing. I've already had plenty of soup earlier. You don't gotta worry about leaving any. Go ahead and eat the whole bowl. You need to get your energy up. Good, good. Was it good? Here, hand the bowl to me. I'll wash it later. There. How you feeling now? You feeling good? Oh, you're thirsty? Pardon me. Pardon my manners. I completely forgot to get you a drink here. I already have a nice cup of tea poured earlier. Go ahead and take a sip. It's good, isn't it? Yeah. I actually bought these tea leaves from a nearby town. Well, I say nearby, but it's quite the walk. But so I don't go there too often, but every once in a while I'll sometimes leave the forest to get some supplies that I can't really get around here. You know, some stuff you just can't trust getting in the forest. There's too many poisonous things. Some things you just can't find here. But the tea leaves are one of those things. So I hope you enjoy that tea, because I don't got too much of it. But anyways, now that I'm getting a good look at you, you're looking awfully dirty. You must have tripped or something on your... before I found you. You got a lot of dirt on you, a lot of mud and dirt. I want to go ahead and get you cleaned up. So, unfortunately, I don't really have any water or towels or anything for you to use. Unfortunately, my last towel still has to get washed, and I don't really have any water that I can really spare, because unfortunately, in the Forest of Evil, there's you can't really put any wells or anything, because half of the time, if you put a well down here, the water is going to be poisonous. And if you try to go one of the ponds, you'll either get eaten by a monster or find out the pond was secretly a pit of acid the whole time. So, you can't really trust getting water out here, so I have to bring back like big jugs of water from the town whenever I go to, so I kind of have to ration it. So sorry, but I can't really spare any water for you to wash off with. So instead, why don't I just brush off the dirt a bit for you with my little paws. I hope that will suffice. I'll brush a bit of the dirt off for you. I hope that's okay. Let me go ahead and begin a bit. There. I know it's not as good as a bath or something, but I hope that still like sufficed enough to, at least get some of the surface level dirt off of you. I hope that was fine. But while you're waiting, is there anything you want to do? Anything you want to ask me while you're waiting? Because there's not much to do out here in the cabin. Usually I just like going out and hunting and stuff, but it's hard to do that out here when, I gotta take care of you. Don't want to leave you behind in this cabin all by yourself. Who knows what might find you. And I'll tell you, if something finds you out here, it ain't gonna be a pretty sight, so gotta make sure to keep a nice eye on you. Don't want you to get hurt. Now. So, anything you gotta ask me? Oh, you want to know about my bow? My bow, right over here. It is quite a nice bow. I've had it for a very, very long time. Quite expensive too. I crafted it with only the finest of wood that I got from a an int. I killed an int and used its magical wood to form together the base of the bow. And then I used the silk from a monster spider, a giant monster spider, to form the bowstring of the bow. It's a very powerful bow. I truly do love it, but you're right to ask about it because it is an amazing bow. Would you like to see it in action? Would you see me shoot it one time? It's very nice to see just how powerful it is. Would you like that? Oh, you would? Well, come on, follow me out here. I got a little like practice dummy outside my cabin, outside the back. Why don't you follow me, and I'll show you a few of my archery skills. Here we are. Just stand back a little. I don't want to accidentally hit you. And let me just go ahead and get a perfect bullseye, perfect headshot right on that dummy. One. Perfect. One headshot immediately. But let me see if I can get a few more. 2. 3. 4. And a 5. Man, my aim is quite on point. But when is it never? You gotta be good at something out here. You gotta be good at some sort of fighting style out here, or you aren't gonna make it. So I made sure to put all of my points into archery. Oh, points. You don't know about points? Like, leveling up points. Wait, you don't know about leveling up? Like, the skill trees. You haven't know the various skill trees that, were bestowed upon you when you were born. And when you, do stuff like killing monsters and stuff, you get points that you put in your skill trees. Like, swords and shields and bows and magic, the rare magic users and alchemy and all this stuff. Man, you really don't remember that, huh? Wow, you really must hit your head, huh? You really must hit it hard. You don't even remember the basics. Even babies know about this stuff. Even little kittens, even little human babies, little kittens, all the various stuff. They all know about this. I'm surprised you don't remember it, but that must mean you must have hit your head real hard. Honestly, it's a lucky thing you even remember how to walk at that point because, man, skills are the basic of basics. But that's okay. I'm here to teach you about it. So don't you worry. But anyways, that's enough shooting the bow today. Why don't you go ahead and go inside. It's getting a little late, you can see. So you should go ahead and take a nap. And in the morning, let me know if you've gained back some of your memories. But anyways, sleep tight. Oh, hello there. Are you finally awake? Good to see you. Are you feeling better now that you got some of your beauty sleep? You got some sleep in? You starting to remember things? Oh, you are? Good, good. Why don't you go ahead and come over here. Tell me about some things you remembered. Maybe I can help you find wherever you came from if you just tell me some of the stuff you remember, okay? Come over here. Oh, what is it that I'm reading? Oh, I'm just reading this little letter. Yeah, I got a few business acquaintances back in town that I will sometimes sell some of the monster stuff I got, the horns and leather and some of the stuff that I get from monsters when I cut them up after hunting a few of them. I got a few people back in town that sometimes like to buy some of them from me. But right now it seems that there's a big demand for a lot of the more medicinal ingredients like unicorn horns and a lot of other things, other stuff you can get from monsters that like have like healing properties. It seems some like important like noble or something in like in one of the cities got sick, so they're really looking forward to getting some kind of like medical ingredients from the monsters. So I was thinking about maybe writing a reply to one of my business acquaintances and telling them that I'm gonna try to look for one of those monsters, maybe get some of the ingredients they're looking for, and then I'll go back to town in like a few days with the ingredients. Oh, what? You don't recognize the writing style? That's interesting. Though I guess it must be because your memories are gone, right? Because otherwise you would recognize this writing style, right? This is the meow 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 meow. The writing style, from because well, I completely forgot to mention it, but because I assumed you would have remembered by now, but you do remember what country we're in, right? We are in the great empire of meow 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 meow, right? You remember that? I mean, I assume you're a citizen, right? I mean, why else would you be out here if you're not a citizen of meow 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 meow, the empire meow 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 meow? I mean, you assume you're a citizen. So the only reason you probably don't recognize the writing is either, I guess, maybe you just were never taught to write, because not everybody is. I'm kind of like a special example. That or maybe you just forgot, but it's okay. It'll probably come back to you in time. Wait. Hold up. Are you trying to tell me you do know how to write? You just don't know how to write this letter. But you do know how to write. What is that? You said English? What is that? I don't think I've heard of English before. That sounds like another nation's language. Are you from here? Like, I know you said you forgot most of your stuff, but you said you remembered some things this morning. Do you remember if you're from here? Like from the empire of meow 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 meow. You aren't. You remember that now. You're not from around here. You're from some what? Some distant place called Earth or something? So, are you trying to tell me you're not a citizen? But let me put this aside for a second. You're not a citizen of the Empire Meow Meow, right? That's very, very interesting. Well, I assume because of that, and because you're Miss Memories, do you remember what happens to non-citizens here in the Empire of Meow 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 Meow? You must not, right? Because if you did remember what happened to those who aren't citizens, you never would have came here. Gotcha. Now don't you try to run. I already got your hands all nice and bound with this rope over here. There ain't no time for you to run. Man, you were quite a fool coming here, huh? You must not remember what happens to those who aren't citizens of the Empire Meow Meow. You see, our great emperor of the Empire Meow Meow, he's an amazing emperor. He truly realizes all the hardships that his citizens have to deal with on a day-to-day basis. and all the hardships we have to deal with, all the hard labor, working in the mines, all of it's just so hard. And he doesn't want his citizens to go through with that. He doesn't. He's very, he's the best emperor we could ever ask for. He got rid of the corrupt nobles, the exploiters. He made sure to set up new hospitals, new sanitation plants. He truly cares for our citizens. But he realizes that if everybody were to live a good life, who would work in the mines? We can't have everybody be healthy. So he came to a decision that, at the end of the day, the most important people are the citizens of this nation. And if anybody's going to be sacrificed, it's going to have to be the outsiders. And it just so happened to be you. You're one of those outsiders. And you know what happens to outsiders like you? You get sold away. You're going to get sold away to some mine off somewhere, some iron mine, some coal mine. Perhaps not even that. Perhaps, if you're real unlucky, you might get even sold to the front lines to serve in one of the slave armies. You really made a mistake coming here. But while it's a mistake for you, it's a great boon for me. They're asking a lot of money for people like you now. You know, after the war started, yeah, the Great War, some other nations, they've been looking down on our great empire. Meow, 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 meow. So we had to put them back in their place. And, as a side objective, while we were at war, we were able to capture a few people to help boost our economy up at the same time. But recently, the war's kind of stagnated. The war stagnated, so we haven't been capturing as many prisoners of war, so there just hasn't been a great influx of workers like you anymore. We haven't had enough people to sell and put off into the mines anymore. So the price has gone quite up for slaves like you. So if I were to sell you, you would make me a quite hefty amount of money right now. I'd get so much gold if I were to sell you. So I gotta thank you for coming here. You're gonna make me a very rich cat. Honestly, I might be able to buy a fancy new bow, a bow even fancier than the one I had previously because of you, so I really gotta thank you. But unfortunately, it seems I won't be able to sell you yet. Right now, we're currently in the hunting season of the very big monsters out here, so it's not safe to go back to town yet, especially not when I'm carrying around some cargo like you. So we're just gonna have to wait a bit before I can bring you back to town so you can, I don't know, get sent off to the front lines or something, but don't you think about escaping. If you dare to even try to escape, the consequences, they will not be pretty. You see, while yes, it would be best to keep you in prime condition, if I were to turn you in with not a single scratch on you, it would be for the best. I'd probably get more money, but as I told you, there's quite a huge scarcity of free workers like yourself, so it wouldn't matter if you're missing a finger or two. They'd still pay a lot for you because they need plenty of people on the front lines. They need any kind of way to break that stagnant front line. They need to break that stalemate, and the best way to do so is to have a few more bodies on the field. So, you better not even think of trying to escape me. This is your life now, so I guess you'll just have to accept it. But, hey, at the end of the day, it's better than you getting eaten by a monster outside here in the forest, so it's still a good thing I found you. Because, hey, you may die soon at the front lines, but at least you'll get a chance to live a few months longer than if you're to be eaten by like an ogre or something. So, take that for what you will. But, why don't you go ahead and go to sleep? When you wake up in the morning, we should be ready to go to the market, so go ahead and sleep. You don't need to worry about anything anymore. Not a single thing at all. Your life is no longer your own, so why don't you go ahead and go to sleep like I told you to. Good night.